channel. Welcome back to my Gig-Olos and Gig-Olettes. It's me, Gio. Y'all know who the fuck it is. A little burned out from yesterday, not gonna lie, or NGL as the youngsters say. Yesterday was a 15-hour day. Didn't plan on it being 15 hours. It just kind of happened. But you know, I've always had the mentality. I'm like, okay, if I do a 13, 14-hour day, and some extremes, a 15-hour day. Yeah, I got a haircut, by the way. The mohawk is the mullet hawk is gone. If I'm gonna pull in a day like that, then it better be worth 400 bucks, right? I don't want to do a 15-hour day for 300 bucks. Yeah, like I would if if it was necessary, but no. Yesterday was, yeah. So, I mean, I'll just give a quick rundown of what it was. So I got in my car about 4:30. I want to say I ran Lyft till about 8:30. I got one streak bonus. I mean, yesterday everything just kind of worked out with Lyft. I didn't get dragged too far away from anything. I had a couple lengthy rides. I had one ride that took me to took me pretty far south. It took me from like Elmwood Park to, God, I want to say it was in the 70s. It took me into the south side. That was a fun ride. The pastor, he was kind of drunk, but he just, you know, people just start telling you the life story. That was one of those guys. Like, he told me he's been in prison and his kid got shot recently, and just, but he still had high hopes. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, good guy. So I made 125 on Lyft in those 4 hours. So that was over 30 bucks an hour. I had to stop and use the bathroom, so I went to a Target, and then I had to drive about 35 minutes west to go do a TaskRabbit job. That one was, so the client that hired me, she said her husband hurt his back, and it was a table tennis thing. And those come in 2 different pieces. And this is the second table tennis job I've done, and those things are heavier than they look. So the hardest part of the job was getting it into the house, into the basement, with one guy that was, you know, moaning and groaning because his back hurt. And then I assembled it for him. Took literally an hour. They left a tip on that job, so that was $185 right there. And then I got a same-day job for furniture assembly. And so I had to drive about 40 minutes back into the city to go do that one. And the client said it was only going to be 2 hours because it was like a metal rack thing, like a bar cart, 2 chairs, and a, like, I guess you would call it a dresser. It's like an office dresser, pretty much. I knocked out the first 3 things in about an hour and a half, and then the dresser took 2.5 hours. And the client said over the app that it would only take 2 hours. I'm like, even if I would have gunned it through the first 3, because I'm not the best at furniture assembly, I'm not gonna lie. NGL. I'm not the best at furniture assembly, but even a really good guy at furniture assembly could probably knock out the first 3 items in like an hour. But no way you're doing that dresser in less than 2 hours. That's just, with the amount of pieces involved and everything. But I had my good buddy Joe Rogan in my ear the whole time. Helps pass the time. And then I got called to do a cash job up north to move a treadmill and assemble a treadmill. And moving the treadmill was actually actually the easy part, because assembling it turned out to be a bit of a motherfucker. This is one I've never built before. It was a Nordic track. Oh yeah, so I made 140 on the furniture assembly job, so that was 325 right there. So I go up north. The other tasker commuted a client that I'm 50 bucks an hour. We moved it in, then we get to assembling it. Kind of a pain in the ass. The instructions didn't quite line up with the unit. Like the screws and everything they weren't like, it was just a pain. So assembling it literally took like an hour and a half. And this is something that pissed me off, because there's only one little, if you've assembled treadmills before, there's usually a couple cords that you have to connect. On this one, there was just one cord, and it was connected. And one of the fans on the console didn't work. The left one did, the right one didn't. And the heart rate monitor didn't work. So the guy's like, did you make sure you connected everything? And I showed him the instructions. I'm like, there's only one thing to connect, and it's connected. And he was understanding. He's like, yeah, no, I see that. He's like, but you're sure there's nothing else? I'm like, there's that one. There was a little green thing at the bottom of the unit. But I told him, I'm like, this thing doesn't pull out far enough to connect anything. And he's like, okay, yeah, I see that. So he gave me $100. So that was $425. Now the reason I want to make this video is because, like, I want to put things into perspective, right? Like, I've had a lot of part-time jobs over my life, but I've only really been employed by 2 companies, like, in terms of, like, over a lengthy time, right? Like, when I was 18, I got hired at UPS, and I think I started there, I mean, minimum wage back then was like $7.25 maybe, in 2003, and everyone's like, oh, UPS is the best, they pay more than minimum wage. Rona! And I think I started at $9.25 there. But most of the time there, I was like at $11.50, 12 bucks an hour. So like 15 hours, which was the normal amount of time you'd be working back then, unless it was like a holiday week. Yeah, because you'd come in, every shift was like 3.5, 4 hours. You had to be there at 5, and you'd usually be gone by like 8:30. So 15 hours on UPS was usually, I mean, before taxes, that was only worth like $160 before taxes. And that would probably be the entire week's worth of work right there, like 15 hours, not a normal week. And then if we go back to like my old job, Coca-Cola, when I was in sales, 15 hours, that could have been, that's like a day and a half of work, right? That's literally, because like, I had a couple, like my shortest day was usually Fridays. I'd get in around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I'd be done around 2 or 3. That was like a 6-hour day. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I was probably out there 10, 11 hours, you know? And that's not including all the time I had to spend doing computer work and all that shit like that. So like 15 hours for my old job would have been worth $190, $200, you know, because I was salary, but like I was literally putting in 60 hours a week at that job for shit pay. Hated that job. So I mean, if you think about it, literally, it's like, that's what my time's worth. I'm willing to put in those long days to earn that kind of money, right? Because I also know, like, not every day is going to be a $400 day. When the opportunity presents itself to go out there and make that kind of money, I'm gonna go out there and take it. But yeah. So yeah, I just want to put things into perspective, man. Like, a 15-hour day, like I said, it sucks. It's hard. It's draining mentally and physically. look back to how much I would have made working that much 4 years ago or 14 years ago. I know UPS was 15 years ago. And I'm like, yeah, this is way better. And I really didn't drive that much yesterday. I think I probably drove I don't even know. I think I want to say 170 miles. Maybe 180. I honestly, it could have been that much, but yeah, no, yesterday, yeah, that's it. Just want to give you guys that video, putting things into perspective on a 15-hour day. But I'm back out. I mean, my plan was originally to wake up and do Lyft this morning. I didn't wake up. But then again, I also fell asleep later than I should have. So if I would have been in bed by like 10 p.m., I probably would have woken up in time. But all right, guys. That's all I got for this one. Hopefully you're all out there killing it, making that fucking money. Hopefully you guys are all having a very good start to the new year, 2021, year of the ox. All right, guys. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank you all for watching. Everyone, please stay safe, stay driven, stay healthy, stay classy.